You're such a great father.
So you're not worried about what might happen?
I'm willing to meet my creator and answer for every shot that I took.
Don't pick it up. Drop it.
That scene was from the Oscar-nominated movie American Sniper, the story about the deadliest American sniper in history, Marine Chris Kyle. The nominations for the Academy Awards just out this morning and developing tonight. Reverend Al Sharpton calling an emergency meeting of his diversity task force after the Oscar nominations. He called it, quote, appallingly insulting that no black actors or actresses were nominated for an Academy Award. Joining us now to break it down, movie lovers, Bernard Whitman, Democratic pollster and president of CEO of Whitman Insight Strategies, LLC, and Amy Holmes, an anchor with the Blaze TV and former senior speechwriter to Republican Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist. Good to see you both.
Good to see you, too.
Good to be here.
All right, so Amy, I'll start with you. What do you make of this? Because there was sort of this outcry, and we saw on Twitter, and Al Sharpton immediately saying he's going to Hollywood, there's an emergency. And he said, we may take action surrounding the awards. So we don't know if there'll be protests. We don't know.
Well, I mean, we know with Mr. Sharpton that he's never seen a racial controversy that he couldn't exploit. I set that aside. But I also want to add full disclosure. The only movie I've seen on this list is Grand Budapest Hotel.
Me too.
I am a huge movie lover. As far as the lack of diversity this year, I think it's ridiculous. It's absurd. It is appalling that not only African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and the whole artistic creative community wouldn't be represented at the Oscars. But I'll be honest with you, I pay about as much attention to the Oscars as I do Miley Cyrus, which is to say I see the headlines and I care about this much.
Yeah, I mean, these billionaire actors and actresses giving themselves awards. I mean, there are multiple award ceremonies, so it's something for everyone. But Bernard, some people say that the problem is with the makeup of the Academy, that it's 94% white, 77% male, and the average age is 62 or 63. So these maybe are not, you know, the more diverse group of moviegoers who are going out and checking out these different films.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair. I think the Academy membership could be a little bit out of touch with what is current and popular in today's society. But having said that, I think the fact that there are no African Americans nominated for the first time since 1998 is more of an anomaly than any type of systemic racism on the part of the Academy. And we have to recognize Selma was nominated for Best Picture, which I think most Americans would say is the most important award. It sort of says this story is an amazing piece of history, an amazing piece of culture, and it was portrayed in such a compelling way that it deserves a nomination for Best Picture. The actor was nominated for Best Actor for the Golden Globes, so was the supporting actress. And I think that it was unfortunate in a time when we're dealing with Eric Garner and Michael Brown and all of this that we don't have representation more broadly of African Americans. But I think that it is an anomaly rather than any type of ongoing racism in Hollywood.
Because we have seen a number of nominees and winners over the last, 18 to 20 years. Something else, Cheryl Boone Isaacs is actually the president of the Academy. She herself a female and African American. And she didn't seem too worried when people were probing her about it today, saying Selma was nominated. It's important that picture is nominated. But she doesn't see any issues with diversity and that, hey, may the best actor win.
Well, she also represents the Academy, but I would also point out that there was a lack of gender diversity, not a single female director, female screenwriter, female cinematographer. I think that says...
Are you going to protest?
Yes, I'm going to be out marching for the Sisterhood, emergency task force. But I agree that this has more to do with the limitations of Hollywood than of the opportunities in broader American culture. And I think we spend far too much time paying attention to the big Hollywood prom.
All right. I'm excited because on Monday, I'm going to go see American Sniper. It looks great, and I've heard great reviews from people all across the board. There are some people, though, Bernard, who don't like this movie and say that it's warmongering, that it is a knockback to nostalgia of the days of President George W. Bush and people who wanted to go blow up Iraq. The makers of the movie, including Bradley Cooper, who was nominated, and Clint Eastwood behind the movie, said it's about portraying a soldier's struggle, the plight, so that people can understand what our soldiers go through. It's not a political statement.
I absolutely agree. I think it's an extraordinary film, and I think that, frankly, to the extent that the American people can see what our brave men and women who go into combat actually have to go through, what war does to them, and what happens when they come home, I think it can shine an important spotlight onto the challenges that these brave men and women face. And I think that we have to understand this is a character study. This isn't meant to be supporting of the war or anti-war. It's meant to be a representation of what this guy went through. And I think the best validation of the film is the fact that Kyle's widow said Bradley Cooper was extraordinary. Clint Eastwood did a magnificent job. So I encourage people to go see the film and understand what these people are going through.
Quick final word.
Listen, it seems like the left only wants war films to feature two things: regret and depression, and not patriotism and fighting for your country with honor and, frankly, enthusiasm. And you know what, Shannon? I think we can see movies with which we disagree, that portray things that are perhaps different from our values, different from our world experiences. I mean, I liked Silence of the Lambs, but I don't advocate serial killing.
Don't go kill anyone. We should have had popcorn for this, by the way. Amy and Bernard,
There's some
great
outside.
to see you both.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get some after the show. Thank you both.
Thanks, Shannon.